This meeting is being recorded.
Off to you, Hanish. Thank you.
Thank you, Kalam. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon. Today we have our expert session with related to the recruiting management and how are we coping with the current HR trends, and we will walk through the best approach on how we can enhance with the candidate experience. Let me introduce myself. I'm Hanish Vasudevan, based out of Talent Team Dubai office. I've been with the firm close to 8 months, and my major expertise lies with recruiting management, recruiting marketing, and onboarding 1.0. I have a overall close to 10 years of experience with 8 years of implementation experience, and I have close to 12 end-to-end implementation with recruiting management and five with recruiting marketing. And yeah, that's it about me. And let's start with the session today. So as part of the agenda, we're gonna walk through about what are the best talent acquisitions and the HR trends. What do we have, and how much have we covered in our previous sessions, and what are we gonna cover today? And then how can we enhance the candidate experience, which is one of the HR trends, and how do we what exactly is this quick apply approach, and what are the benefits of this quick apply approach, and how can we benefit it to our enhancing the candidate experience, and how to make their life better, and what are the other benefits. It's not only with the candidates, or is it with the other HR users as well. So all those benefits we can check it off, and then we will just check on what are the recommended approaches, how the clients have been using till date, and what best practice can be followed using this quick apply approach, so that the quality of the applicants just get turned into the candidates into the system. Okay, that would be our major success of this session. And then last, we are going to walk through a few of the known issues of the quick apply feature. And yes, for any detailed, any questions or answers, if you have packed it out at the last of the session, I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. And yes, we do have dedicated channels to answer you, and you can anytime reach out to us. Okay, I hope this is clear. Let's get started. So what exactly we are looking at as per the talent acquisition or recruiting process and the HR trends following from 2022, and yes, we are stepping into 2023 in next couple of months. And yes, we need to understand what the pandemic or the COVID situation has we have been dealt with. We have seen many of the digital transformations. We have seen how the hybrid work modules work, and how the applicants or candidates experiences change this HR trends these days, right? So looking at all this, how far we have traveled, and how are we gonna improve our steps in the scalability wise, everything can be checked here. So I just picked the major HR trends, the top 5 HR trends which is gonna scope up for the 2023, and which we actually participated in the 2022. And I think we had certain few sessions on the one of the diversity and inclusions from our previous experts in the last few months. So yes, when we speak about the HR trends, it's not just the talents or candidates, even as well as the recruiters, the HRs, the managers, the users. We all face a huge amount of disruption, and the timeline from planning to keep the actions on the time, and this all actually shrinks while the imperatives increases, correct? So to help the HRs or the recruiters better manage and lead during these tough times, or to emerge in this prospective trends. So like I said, we have listed out this five emerging HR trends, so which we expect will be shaping our 2023 in the workplace, and we are very much confident about it. So the first one is about the enhancing the candidate or the talent experience, right? So which is a major outcome for any key to success for any recruiting process or any onboarding is the candidates. How many applicants, how many viewers, how many who creates a profile converts into a candidate or a suitable candidate, and how are we going to help those through the enhancing the candidate experiences, all that we can check, correct? So like in for an example, when we speak about the perspectives, like a candidate experience is our candidates holistic perception of their experiences with the recruiting management process. So whatever the current HR process they have or the application tracking system process they have, the candidate's experience is the result of every interaction they had with the organization through this entire recruitment management process. So how good is this journey? How good is this experience for the candidates? Depicts the performance of that particular modules or particular HR trends, correct? So these interactions, when I say enhancing the candidate experience, right, these interactions include like from the all the stages of hiring pipeline, like right from the job having be posted to view it on the recruiting marketing sites, how the candidates apply for the job, how are they screened in this entire application process, how was the interview handled, and how was the onboarding experience. So like this, the entire journey of a candidate is constitutes the experience. And also every HR or the recruiter, right, um, the processes do impact candidates perception, and the desire to keep them engaging with the team or not. So this all concludes to a great candidate experience or the talent experience, which is the successful, um, I could say, successful implementation as well, correct? So candidate might flow through n number of job postings every day, but somehow uh, like only all of the traffic downs to just a tickle of filled applications only. So how do you fill the applications, how you see the candidates performance, it's all related only after the candidates comes into the system. But how are we going to grasp the candidate into the system is what we all have to decide about. So to improvise this job application process, that which we enhance our candidate experience, and how we do this is one of the best approach what we could suggest is the quick apply approach, which I'll be walking through all the steps. Okay, so enhancing the candidate or talent experience is like you have to start from the scratch, which we would say, uh, write the clear job description. We have to be transparent about the hiring process. Use the best ATS. In this case, it's our success factors, our recruiting management module. And then we have to make it easy for candidates to apply for the job. And once we have make it easier, we have to coach the hiring teams like before the interviews, and we have to respect the candidate's time at the time of interview or offer everything. And this communication should be transparent and often, correct? And we'll have to personalize the experience and inform the candidate. So this is one major thing what we could see in several surveys, or we could see in the market today is the candidates must be informed on if the job is filled, or if they have hired, or if they have, yes, if they are hired is the normal system notifications are going on. But if the job has been filled, or if it has been disqualified for any other reason, the candidate's information is not reaching the candidate. So all these plots we need to cover as part of the one of the measuring HR trends. I think one such approach what we are going to use for the quick apply will help us do this. So every candidate to have a great well-designed application page with a clear instruction to fill out, and which will keep the application process short and mobile friendly. So we can speak about this enhancing the candidate talent experience. So this is what our main theme for today's and this is what we have picked from the HR trends. And eventually I'm going to just walk you through about what exactly on the organizational design and change management. So like we know the digital transformations, correct? Like economic uncertainty and some political translations have led to much disruptions and changes. So as such, organizations design and management changes, all this changes remains at a top priority. And as a organization are seeing the fallout of too much change and uncertainty, employers, right, the candidates or employers are also growing more resistant to the change. So HR leaders must help, or the recruiters or the whole recruiting team must help employers to navigate or to cope up with this change and mitigate the impact that change may have on the work, and more importantly their well-being, right? With, like I said, with all this COVID, all the hybrid work policies, not only more with the organizational change or design, we'll have to importantly take care of our, and the well-being is also very much important. And next is on the diversity and inclusion. This is one of the topic which I might we covered for the employee central in our previous session from one of our expert Manju and Sada for the learning management system. For recruitment management, we would probably holding a session in the near future. Um, but this is one of the major topic for the diversity and inclusions. So diversity, equity, inclusions, and belonging, like these have been receiving more visibility nowadays in recent time. And yes, HR organizations are increasingly analyzing the entire employee life cycle throughout this diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging lens, right? So this also offers an opportunity to connect the organization purposes with diversity initiatives. So this makes business sense, but this is also the right thing to do. So yes, this is one of the major hiring HR trends, so which we will have to follow it up. And the last two is about the artificial intelligence and robotic process automation. I don't want to take much of the time to explain this, but yes, artificial intelligence in the talent acquisition process can decrease the time and effort required to go through the like mandate tasks or time consuming tasks, and make the hiring process very efficient and effective. So it enables the HR team to focus on sourcing, supply, like the process management or support management or the RMK and other areas. Correct. And the last one is about the robotic process automation. I think RPA is being a boom HR trend from the past couple of years. So RPA can be used to like streamline the overall hiring and the recruitment process. Correct. So like this is done by the bots taking all the data, uh, considering like all the data from the candidate shortlisting or candidates viewing on the jobs, what are they applying and where are they going and how are the process taking it. So every related task. So what happens, more like this AI and robotic process automation, it's like a child system where we are letting to train the kid on the daily basis, and it uses its intelligence to take care of the data, and it learns from the data, and this will allow the recruiter to make a very quick and effective hiring decision and find out like who is a perfect match for the company. So these are just the examples what I'm trying to give it on this trend perspective. So yes, when we say using the quick apply approach, uh, Are we covering all these HR trends? How are we going to take it? So we can see it in the future slides. Okay. So yes, like I already walked you through these, the candidate's experience. So the firms that focus on like building a positive experience and company culture for employees are found to be more successful and profitable. Yes, so that's why we need to say that we always keep the descriptions very clear from the start for the job till the applying, and keep the candidate informed if if is the hire is perfect or not, and we personalize the candidate experience. Correct. So the basic, what we see here is like how do we upgrade the career sites, and how we use these surveys, taking the feedback from the candidates, are this the major the ways the employers have improved the candidate experiences. So in addition to this, RMK can also help us personalize the hiring process and gather analytics to help improve the candidate experience. So with all this, how we proceed with the quick apply. So what exactly is the quick apply? How does it help us in enhancing the candidate experience is what we are going to deal with it. So we know this quick apply has been with us from the past 2 years, and yes, we do have our uh, the implementation guide which tells us how to implement or configure the quick apply. But how is this helping us in enhancing the candidate experience is what we have to figure it out, and what as a part of the talent team what we have faced so far and with our clients, and how did we overcome this, and what was the best practice approach we as from the talent team we provided to this quick apply, and how we did it is what we're gonna do in the upcoming slides. Okay, so I'm not gonna give you a detailed explanation or description on how to implement or how to configure, how to configure the quick apply from uh, the technical details, how to configure it in the system. I'm not going to showcase that. Rather, I'm going to show you that if we are going to configure this quick apply in our current HR process system, how are we doing it? Are we doing it in the right way, or are we doing it in the wrong way? If it's the wrong, how can we change this? So all this we're gonna discuss in this upcoming sessions. Okay. So yes, what is quick apply? So like I said, the candidates, how much you keep the candidates enthusiastic, how much you keep the candidates entertained, or keep them attractive on your websites. It's all a matter of time. And also how the candidates look at the websites, and how do they set up the profiles, and then look for the jobs and apply for the jobs. All this comes into the picture. Correct. So consider if these processes, like creating a setting up of profile, search for the job, and then check on the list of the jobs, and then you apply. So if these processes are not straightforward, if there are multiple fields, like if you have to fill the basic profile information, address information, your background information such as external work experience, if you had any languages expertise, if you have certifications, what is your background in the technical skills, and what are your competencies. So the candidates tend to spend close to 3 to 4 hours to set up a profile onto their in the websites, and then having them handle them to look over the jobs which are available on the postings, again fill those details, fill the application related questionnaires, and then do it. So this is a very long process where the talents will not appreciate this time efforts. So what they would do is they just don't spend most of the time, and they just move away from there. So to overcome all these struggles, so and not let the talents navigate to the other career sites, how about we build a career site, or how about we build an application process such a way that these are all minimal. So in this concept or in this perspective is there when this quick apply comes into picture. So using quick apply, we can have the candidates experience the faster and like a more quick and efficient, easier way to the application processes. Okay, so the quick apply, like once if it is configured, it can help the candidates complete an application without filling in the details for a complete profile. It saves the time and is more efficient. So it's again about, we speak about the time efficiency there. So once we fill the candidate profile details, we don't have to fill it again, but you can still apply for the more of the jobs. But in this case, we can just apply for the job directly even without creating a profile. But yes, you will have a profile at end of the day. And how it is, I'll just show you in the future. Okay, so yes, candidates can apply for the jobs which are quick apply enabled with very minimal defined fields in a single page on the career site. So one more thing which we want to highlight is not to not to bulk up with the questions, or not to populate more uh, uh, application pre-screening questions, and not to list out or scare out the candidates. Rather have a minimal defined set of fields only required at this point of time. So yes, we do have multi-stage applications, so we can use the multi-stage application fields concepts here. And we can also use the country overrides. I'll be telling you in detail in the briefer next stage. So yes, once we have the quick apply field, a standard field configured in the job requisition, you will see it as a switch here on the screen. I think most of us clients already know the switch. So this is how it shows on the UI. The switch can be made default. Either you can use a business rule saying for a particular a cost center or particular division department, this can be set. The quick apply can switch can be enabled. For others, it cannot be enabled. So you can either default this quick apply using the business rules, or else you can mandate a template, a specific template as a quick apply alone. So you just make this field standard mandatory. So it forces the recruiter, as it is a required field, to enable it. Okay, so this is one way of having the requisition created, have a quick apply functionality enabled. Okay, and yes, what happens for the quick applies enabled jobs? This is how the screen looks. So the application and profile fields are populated in a single page, and this is how it looks. So I have uh, one of the clients test system which we have used here. So I'm just going to show you one of the job which we posted as a quick apply. So it's the job 34524, the requisition ID for senior IT manager solutions. So if I click on apply, you can see it, since it's with the quick apply approach, you can see the resume, and you can see the initial profile, basic profile fields which are required for the login here, like the email address, email type address, password, retype password. So these are the standard fields which we cannot change or will have to live with this. Yes, these are required for the login. Then you have first name, middle name, last name, the phone numbers, and the address details, like I said, all the basic. And again, this can also be controlled, which has to be shown, which not to be shown. Like the address details can also be hidden at this point of time and can be collected at the later stages if required, or else we can hide them. I mean, when I say hide us, we can not have it configured on the quick apply. Okay, and then you can see there is a section for the application. Any application fields defined here is already merged with the profile, and it is shown as a part into a one single page. So here you can see there is some equal EEO related fields. This is specific to the US region, where you have the gender, ethnicity, race, all these details. And at the bottom, you have the apply button. Okay, so you just fill the details, you click on apply. With one click, you're just applying to the job, even without creating the profile. Okay, so this is how a quick apply job shows up on the website, and how was it enabled on the requisition by the job recruiter is here. Cool. I think we are good about what quick apply is and how was it. So now let's speak about what are the benefits of the quick apply. Okay, so the benefits of the quick apply are like the job refers, right? So now as an example, when I see on a particular instance, I go use this quick apply, I apply for the job within one click and with a minimal set of fields. What I would do, I would recommend this to the all the friends or my communities or the talents, saying that if this is the good website where we can turn up, this is this particular company or this particular client has too many quick apply jobs where we don't have to invest more time to do it. So the candidates are also like unlikely to recommend the career sites they find to be like slow and complicated, right? So that's the first benefit I would say. And then the major benefit for this quick apply is, along with the candidates, even the recruiters, even the HRs are also benefited with this approach, because this is a ripple effect, right? So it's not about only the candidates are able to apply for this job very quickly, but the candidates are not only creating the profile and not applying, those are just the applicants, but we are getting a suitable candidates whose application data are also available in the system. So you have the greater number of candidates applied into the system rather than just the applicants. So with this, the recruiter can create his set of healthy talent pool. So it's, I would say the quick apply is not only healthy beneficial for the candidates, it is as well as for the recruiters as well. So what happens if the candidate recruiters have a healthy talent pool? So yes, the talents can be easily searched in the pools by this approach, and the candidates can be like accessed by the recruiters for the potential on their at the right time, at the right place, and which is like an added advantage for having more talents with the right candidate for the productivity of the job. So end of the day, it's not neither the candidate applies for the job or the recruiters pull up from the talent pool, and then he can still ask the candidates to apply for this job, right? And yes, the screen which I showed you previously, it's for the new candidates who are trying to approach. The screen will just show up like this. They're going to create the profile and do this. But whereas if there is an existing candidate who are in the talent pools with the recruiter's profile are searched and forwarded, right? They, when they come into the screen, they will have to log in. So once they log in, these details won't just map up. They don't have to do it, so they can directly have the CV loaded, everything, the details will be there. They'll have to just fill the application details and they just click on apply. So yes, it quick apply will work for both existing candidates and the new candidates as well. And moving on, yes, the other I wouldn't say minor advantages or minor benefits, but these are also a very good benefits for the quick apply. So the candidates can like fill the jobs, or they can do the profiles at one at a time. By this, say for example, if there is any mass hiring or minimal hiring, recruiters can easily switch this quick apply feature on and off, like I showed you in the previous slide, right? You can either write it a business rule, or you can mandate a requisition template, force it to work quick apply. But you can still give a recruiter an option to switch off quick apply or not. So by this, what happens is a recruiter can decide if it's a minimal hiring, if he wants, say if the number of openings is just 1 or 2, he don't have to do a quick apply for that particular scenario, or in that case he can just walk through this. You can disable it, and you can get the candidate all the details and walk him through the entire recruiting process. But if it's in a mass hiring, if say for example if it's an opening for a banking sector, or if it's for any technical support sector, if there is a requirement of 50 to 40 hirings, that's the mass hirings, right? There I think rather than you ask the candidates to fill up with all the information, you can just use this quick apply, and the candidates can get into in bigger numbers, and there wouldn't be any loss of time for the recruiters as well. And one more added advantage for this way is, yes, we can, the best way is to have minimal set of fields in the application page so the candidates can fill. But what if the recruiter wants to have some more additional questions? What can be done, right? So yes, pre-screening questions, how we use it for the normal applying, can also be applicable for the quick application. So pre-screening questions can be added at the job requisition and can be made displayed on the quick application process. By this, like the complete information of the talent can be acquired for that requisitions. So this is not uh, mandatory or a recommended approach, but yes, if there are anything related to a country specific or anything related to a department specific, see if it's an oil drilling industry, or if it is anything related to the manufacturing industry, there might be some skill sets you might want to ask, but you don't want to put it as an application field. The recruiter can still use it as a pre-screen questions, and those will again show up on the quick apply. Okay. And yes, moving on to the current approach for using the quick apply. So how are the clients in today's scenario? How are those most of the clients using this quick apply approach? Are these implemented in the best practice approach for the global templates? So this is the question which pop up for every talent or the candidates, right? For the talents especially. So what happens is most of the clients would have designed the job requisition and application as per their current hiring process, like with all the multiple standard fields and the custom applications and the questionnaires, everything. So with the multi-stage applications enabled, yes, there would still be number of application fields at the different stages of hiring process. But if the multi-stages are not enabled, just consider if this application is having like 20 to 30 fields respective to one country field. And if you just enable the quick apply for this, what happens? Your quick apply page will look, one single page will look a very bigger page with 20 application fields and 10 basic profile fields and one attachment fields. So with this approach, we are not actually doing it in a better way, correct? So if we enable the quick apply for such a requisitions, the one single page will list out to in a big list of a checklist, and when the candidate feels like filling up these fields into one at a time, this beats up the purpose of having the quick apply at all. So the major, how do you do the best practice approach for using the quick apply, and how do we overcome this? How can the existing clients can work out using the quick apply? How can they still enhance the experience? That is what we have going to do. And yes, from the talent team's perspective, we have implemented this two with our two big clients, for one for the Vodafone and one for the Clarence International. Nowadays, we have got effective outcome of this approach, and that is what we are sharing with you. So yes, what is the correct way to implement the quick apply as per the best practice? The very first thing is, this quick apply feature enablement needs to be implemented as a part of the new requirement with the client. So do not consider this as a simple switch just to define it on the template and you just enable it and everything works. No, this enabling the switch is something you are going to define a new process and which would require a specific amount of time to have this change to be done. Okay, and it's just not a switch is what I'm trying to say. So enabling a switch, this is going to affect an end-to-end process. And even as per the SAP standards, even what SAP recommends is the quick apply feature needs to be configured in the new application template. Please do not ever enable it in your existing template. If we enable it in the existing template, what I said you before, so it will list out every 30 to 40 fields in this on one page, and candidates experience will be not that effective. So the major thing is we'll have to involve by creating a new application template with a very minimal set of fields for that particular countries. Okay, in only for this session, just consider this quick apply application template. We are enabling it for a Middle East region. We'll only have 4 application fields, and then we will ask these candidates to fill only those 4, and then the process goes on smooth over here. Now, since we are introducing one new application template, what all other things are going to change? Are these change going to be big? Are these going to be major changes? Because we know once we introduce a new application template, we'll have to introduce a new requisition template, because according to the standard design, the SuccessFactors requisition template is always mapped to one application template, which is a one-to-one mapping. So the very first moment when we speak about this, having a new template, the clients panic, or the clients think that it's a very big amount of work, it could consume some hours, everything, right? So we have to be specific here, and we have to tell them we are going to reutilize their existing systems, existing process alone, and then we are going to implement this quick apply with by copying their existing processes. So first thing is, we don't have to create a requisition template. We don't have to do an workshop session to capture all the details. We can still use the same requisition template. Rather, we're going to copy the requisition template into a new requisition template, new requisition, and we name it as a quick apply. Okay, and that requisition template do not be built from the scratch. Rather, we copy the existing rec template and we tie up to the new application template which we are building. By this, we are not investing more time on building any new requisition template. The major configuration or the major build is only on the application template which you are going to configure, and even that can be the copy of your existing application template by removing the additional fields which are not required at the time of the quick apply, and we can have it minimal. So again, from the build perspective, this is not going to cost any of the time. Next, yes, since we have the requisition template and application template figured out, what is the next one? It's about the route map. So yes, we need not define a route map for specifically for this quick apply until and unless a client has a requirement for this. If client says that if they need a new template, new route map for this quick apply approach, then I think we'll have to work on creating a new route map. But so far, what we have seen through the client's experiences we had, everybody utilized or just used the existing route map. So this is again would be a decision from the workshop session. And then the next part is how we define the process of this new requisition creation, correct? So if this requisition creation is done from the RCM end by creating the new from the blank template, it shouldn't be an issue. But if we have a position enabled employee central integrated system, then yes, you don't have to write or create the business rules alone for this template. Rather, you can just include this, since the requisition creation and the mapping, those two business rules are already dealing with the existing rec template. We'll have to just tweak this business rule by adding the new requisition template name and just implement these fields over there, and just do a cross verification between these two business rules. One is the create rec template, and the other one is the map rec new fields. So once we figure this out, I think that defining the creation of the requisition process wouldn't be that effective. Okay. And then next comes the status pipeline. This is same as the route map. Usually the quick apply pipelines, they can still follow the same existing pipeline, and they don't want to create a new pipeline for this. And again, this is again a time saving for the building perspective. And same goes for the offer approval process, which normally is not in this case. You don't have to create any no offer approval separate for the quick apply jobs, and I think you can still treat them as the same job, and you can still continue with the same process. So if you can see now, we have started a journey from the quick apply till the offer. The process stays the same with a very minimal build work. We are just reutilizing the route maps, existing pipelines, existing approval process, and offer letter templates. Just we introduced with a new template. So one new template and one requisition template, and we have all this. Okay. And the major things to consider is the cross-module integration. So if onboarding is in scope, then this, whatever the new requisition in the application, we have template, we have a configure, right? We have to just make this mapping again, data flow from RCM to onboarding, and a certain piece of specific time would be used for this testing. So it shouldn't be more time consuming here. And yes, the basic RBP groups, RBP roles should be managed. As a best practice, what we did is for these candidates, we let the same recruiter group who were handling, we created the same RBP roles and groups, and one for just for the enabling, or what do you say, only the recruiters were granted access to have the switch enabled or disabled, nor the hiring manager or anything. And RBP groups were same as what the recruiters were there in the system. So yes, this can be the same. And the last one is about the override feature. Like I said, for our example, we just considered for Middle East UAE with basic 5 fields, right? So what if there is additional fields for US, UK, Germany, any other countries, right? What you can do is you don't have to create another new templates for each country. And in this case, the new template which we created, right, with the minimal fields, in the same template, we can create all this application fields for the country specific, and you can define the override feature here. And once you post the job, only the country specific fields will show up. Any public value equals false defined in the application will not show up. Only at the override fields will show up here. So this is also an added advantage for the having the quick apply configured in the new application template for all the different countries. So yes, this is the correct way to implement the quick apply as per the best practice. And yes, we know that this success factors are still, we are working out on few fixes from the SAP's end. Even though we have the quick apply as the best approach for the candidates to reach out to us, there are small issues, or what do you say, disadvantages from the quick apply, which is still manageable. But we have to consider these points at this while implementing this quick apply. Okay, the first one is assessment initiation will not work for the existing candidates. Will only work for the existing candidates, will not work for the new candidates. What happens, consider as an example, I'm a new candidate. If I'm going to apply for a quick apply job where an assessment initiation, or where is an assessment association assessments are placed on the requisition. Whenever the candidate applies for the job, he fills all the details, the page will be up. The moment when he clicks on the apply, this error page will show up. Okay, but still this is an timestamp error, um, where the candidate is already applied, he will be available in the system, but he would not be able to see the success apply message. So this is a known issue, and yes, here is a KBA which is listed on the presentation. The SAP is working on this fix. We could expect this fix to be done in the future releases, not in the recent release. So only for the existing candidates, this assessment initiation will work. Okay. The next one is multi-attachment field. Yes, we spoke about resume, we spoke about every fields, but we never spoke about the multi-attachment field, because multi-attachment field is not recommended, because it behaves differently for both the existing and new candidates. For the new candidates, these multi-attachment fields will not appear or work, but whereas for the existing candidates, yes, this multi-attachment will work. So considering the as is process, or considering the requirement from the client, we can have this attachment field created. Okay, and then uh, we don't have to say this as an issue, but it is one of the major pivotal role which plays is the notifications. So if, as you already know, to enable the quick apply, you need to disable the career site email notification, correct? Only if you disable that, and if you enable the career site v12 enhancing, if you enable that, only then along with this email notification disabled, this quick apply will work, or else the quick apply won't work. But what happens for the notifications, right? There are two notifications basically here. One is the thanks for applying and welcome email. Again, these two emails will behave differently for both the existing candidates and the new candidates. So new candidates, when the moment they click on the apply, they will receive both the notifications which says welcome email, welcome to the whatever the client for this particular job, and then thanks for applying for the job. For the existing candidates, it will just be the thanks for applying, the welcome email would not show up. Okay, so this is kind not an issue, but we would like to call it off, because whenever a new candidate applies to a job, he would receive both two notifications, and which is not the best practice. So yes, this is one of the call out we need to make it up. And the next one is, yes, you cannot save the quick apply job. Like I showed you here, you only see an apply button, there is no save jobs here. So the only way to apply for the only way to access these jobs are by just applying, and you won't have any drafts of this, and you cannot have a save draft job over here. So that is all. So just a recap, we spoke about the hiring trends. What are the hiring trends, and how are we gonna use this candidate experience, how to enhance it using the quick apply, what is a quick apply feature, and what are the advantages of the quick apply feature, how are the current clients implementing this quick apply approach, and are these in the best practice, and what was the best practice from the talent team we gave it, and how was it successful with our most of the clients, and how it will be useful for you as well. So, and then we saw a few disadvantages or issues as well here. And yes, there are some other disadvantages as well, like the contact email doesn't show up, but the candidate can do it. But these are all, I think, it's already a known issue so far, so we don't have to specifically call it out. Cool. Any questions? Any questions so far in the call? Okay, I don't think if there is no questions, Uh, Please reach out to us for any questions related to the recruiting management or recruiting marketing, specifically to the quick apply implementation. You can reach out to us at info@talentteam.com, and this slide and this video will be shared through our channels. And thank you.